This video is intended for audiences over the age of 13. If you are not 13 years or older, please click away from this video now. You have been warned. Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's your man James, aka JP, back again with the toy room. So I'm trying a new angle right here. I'm standing up. I literally just got home from work and Xbox decided that they were randomly at like 9:30 at night going to announce, or I guess reveal, the brand new Xbox, and I just kind of wanted to give my thoughts and opinions and my first reaction to it. Literally just saw it right now, just saw the trailer for it, the promotional shots, the name and everything like that. So if you guys are unfamiliar, they're basically calling this the Xbox Series X, and it's slated to come out holiday of 2020. So essentially right around, I would say probably November 2020 is what we're looking at. But the name is the biggest issue that I have, and before I even dive into that, I'm gonna have pictures on the screen here. A lot of people are complaining about the design of it, and I really don't have that big of an issue with the design per se. So it basically looks like a computer tower, basically a PC tower, which isn't that big of a deal. But my issue with the design is that it looks way too similar to the Xbox One S as well as the Xbox One X, and it basically just looks like fatter versions, or like wider, thicker versions, and that's thick with two C's, but it just looks like thicker, wider versions of those consoles. It doesn't look like its own thing. You know, when the Xbox transitioned to the Xbox 360, there was a clear difference between the two. They didn't look very similar, and even the transition from the 360 to the Xbox One, the original Xbox One, the fat version, you know, those two didn't look similar at all. But transitioning from the Xbox One, the original model, to the Xbox One S, they looked pretty similar. It just looked like a slim version, which it was meant to, hence the whole S behind it, but it was basically just a slim version of the fat Xbox One. And then moving on to the Xbox One X, it was basically just a more compact, slimmer, more powerful version of the original Xbox, but even more so of the Xbox One S. It was just an improvement on the S per se. So you know, those were mid-console, like mid-generation upgrades, I guess you could say, which they were meant to resemble what the Xbox One and the S look like, being you know, similar in style and design. But I feel when you go from one console generation to another, there's no sense in making it look exactly like the previous generation console, if that makes any sense. So I just feel like they look way too similar in, and not necessarily design, because it's a completely different shape. It's more of like a tall rectangular cube, almost, basically, again, like a PC tower. So I wouldn't say the shape really looks like it, but the aesthetics, everything to the eject button on it, the little like hexagons on the top that I assume are going to be for ventilation, it's where the fans are going to be and all that. That's all very similar to the Xbox One X, and I feel like it doesn't have its own identity. It just looks way too similar, and it looks like it's the same exact controllers, if I'm not mistaken. So that's another way where it doesn't really feel different. If you can, I have seen that you can use the Xbox One and the regular and the Elite controllers with it. So I just feel like it's just too much of the same, too much of the similar stuff. I don't have a problem with the shape of it. I actually like that it's not your traditional, you know, shape that we've been getting with the PS4, with the Xbox One, the One S and the One X, and even the PS4 Pro, you can throw that in there. I like that they changed it up. They went with a different shape. They went with a vertical design instead of a horizontal design. Even though you can make these vertical, you can stand them up if you want to, but I just feel like consoles over, I don't know, ever since this generation, I guess, or even getting into the end of the 360 and PS3 era, I just feel like consoles have all started to look very similar. They've all been black, they've all been this rectangular shape, and they've all kind of had that horizontal design to kind of fit in with your home entertainment center. But, you know, I'm not really that big of a fan of that, because, you know, growing up with consoles, you know, the NES and the Super Nintendo look drastically different. The Super Nintendo and the Nintendo 64 look different. Nintendo 64 and GameCube all look different. Same with the original Xbox and the 360, and then the 360 and the One, and the PS1, PS2, and PS3, and even the PS4 all look, you know, remarkably different. I just feel like this doesn't have an identity of its own, and I know I said I didn't really have an issue with the design and kind of just went on like a 4-minute rant about it, but you know, I don't mind that they changed up the shape. I like that odd kind of obscure PC tower look. I just don't like the aesthetics of it, how a lot of the parts look reused with the eject button, with the disc tray, and so on and so forth. But my biggest issue with it, honestly, is the name. I don't know who's been in charge of naming the Xbox consoles ever since the 360, but these names have been just horrible. So the original Xbox, that's fine. The Xbox 360, great name. The Xbox One, while it made sense, you know, you were trying to do the wordplay with it being an all-in-one system where you can play video games, watch your movies, watch TV, you know, do everything in one system. Okay, it makes sense that you were going for the Xbox One, but it was also very confusing because now you can't call the original Xbox the Xbox One because the Xbox One is the Xbox One, so you have to call the original Xbox the original Xbox. It gets very confusing when you start doing all that. And now when you call this the Series X, you already have the Xbox One X, and I feel like it's too many X's, and parents are gonna get confused who don't know anything about gaming, are gonna get confused at the stores between the Xbox One X, the Xbox Series X, the Xbox One S. It's just, I don't know, the naming of these has been horrible. The Xbox One, okay, I get it, and yeah, maybe we can give that a pass. Then you come out with the Xbox One S, then shortly after come out with the Xbox One X, which sounds similar to the S, and then you have the Xbox One all digital. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, the naming stuff really drives me crazy, because now on the market, you're gonna have next year the Xbox One S, the Xbox One X, and the Xbox Series X. And I feel like for people, you know, not like us that we're into this, but parents shopping, people browsing the stores, I feel like it's gonna get very confusing for them. So I don't know. Honestly, if they would have went with the name Project Scarlet, that would have been fine. I actually think that's a really cool name. I like the name Project Scarlet, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not liking the Series X name whatsoever. And at the end of the day, the name isn't going to make or break the system, because the Xbox One honestly was a stupid name, but I love my Xbox. I have the original fat day one edition of the Xbox One and the Xbox One X. I don't have the Scarlet version or a Scorpio version. I wish that I could have got my hands on that, but I just didn't have the money at the time that it released. But I'm definitely gonna have the Xbox Series X day one. Hopefully, we'll see how much it costs. Hopefully it's probably gonna be like, I don't know, hopefully nothing crazy like $600. But I'm gonna start saving now so that when the time comes next year, I'll have the money for it. But that's kind of my thoughts and first reaction and impressions on the brand new Xbox Series X. I like the design as far as the shape, the geometry of it. I do not like the aesthetics of it, how it just looks very similar to the Xbox One S and X and even the original One. And the name, yeah, not a fan of the Series X. I like Project Scarlet, honestly. Even if they would have called it the Xbox Scarlet, I think that's a really cool name. And the Series X just doesn't sound like something for like that's a final product that's gonna be put out. It almost sounds like the code name for it, honestly. It sounds, I don't know, I hope they maybe change the name with feedback from the community, but not a fan of the Series X. Definitely would have liked the Scarlet. But anyways, I've ranted on about this for far too long, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends, and be sure to follow me on Instagram. That link's in the description down below. And let me know how you guys like this new setup of me standing up. I honestly was just way too lazy to sit down and set everything up. It was much quicker to just throw the camera here, stand up, and do that. So yeah, let me know the feedback on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. So as always, guys, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys next time.